Hey everybody, this is Chris with OPSED. Today I'm going to go over a couple of tips on using the LCAR-9 machine pistol. Recently the LCAR-9 did get a couple of nerfs. It got its range reduced a little bit, its damage reduced a little bit, but it's still really good and it's still going to be the best pistol you can equip. What makes the LCAR-9 so good is that it's basically a pocket submachine gun. It's a secondary, but it operates like a submachine gun. It fires quickly, it kills quickly, and it gives you the extra mobility that you'd get with a submachine gun and allow you to really dominate in close quarters combat. With that said, the LCAR-9 is not as good as any of the submachine guns, so it's not going to make a lot of sense to use just that as your primary weapon. In the video you're watching, I am using just that to kind of show the strength of it and how it does compete against submachine guns and all the weapons in the game, but generally speaking, if you're going to run just that, you're going to want to pick a Vesper or a VMP or the Razorback. Where it does shine, though, is being used as a secondary. The LCAR-9 is going to be a better choice than almost any single perk or any extra attachment you can put on your primary weapon. So when you're building a class, it'll make more sense to go ahead and just equip the LCAR-9 as a secondary than to get that extra perk or that extra attachment or that grenade, because it's going to really help you in close quarters scenarios, particularly when you're using longer range weapons like assault rifles or sniper rifles or even a light machine gun. Now, in terms of attachments, I think it's probably best to run it without any attachments at all. It's really strong without any attachments, and that allows you to just use one point to kind of even off your build and get that close quarters power. However, if you do have a couple extra points, or if you're going for achievements, or you want to unlock camos, the best attachments to run it is probably going to be extended mags. It's going to be the single best attachment you can put on it. If you are looking for those headshots to unlock camos, then high caliber is a must. I know a lot of people do really enjoy akimbo or dual wielding. Personally, I don't think it's that good. I think it pales in comparison to some of the other attachments, and it's not consistent. It's going to be good sometimes, but then it's going to be really poor other times. So the best time to use the LCAR, like I said, is when you have a long-range weapon equipped. So if you have the assault rifle or a sniper rifle or a light machine gun equipped, then the LCAR is going to be an amazing secondary because it's going to take the worst part of that class, which is close quarters engagements, and give you a second option. This way, when you're running your M8A7, your Shiva, or your Locust, then whenever you find yourself in a situation where you might get into a close quarters engagement, you can just swap out to your LCAR and be in a really good position to win that. But something to keep in mind is that you don't want to wait until the engagement has started. If you're already getting shot, if you already found yourself in that engagement, you're not going to be able to get that LCAR out in time, and you will probably be better off trying to do something with your primary weapon. Running fast hands can help this a little bit. It can help you get that out a little bit quicker and maybe save some of those engagements. But it's still going to be best to actually keep track of where you are on the map. And whenever you find yourself running into a close quarters or you're about to slide into an objective, go ahead and swap to that LCAR ahead of time. Go ahead and have it out. Because if you watch the video in front of you where I'm only using the LCAR, I'm still pretty good in most situations. So you're not going to be putting yourself at a massive disadvantage by having it out, and it is going to allow you to not rely on fast hands or reacting very quickly. And this also allows you to not use fast hands at all, and it'll get you another perk spot and another point that you can use elsewhere. So if you're just starting out, I recommend do take a couple of rounds, run just the LCAR so that you can get used to how it performs, get used to how it feels, and get comfortable using it in those close quarters engagements and not relying on your stronger primary weapon. That way, when you're running your assault rifle or your sniper rifle, you kind of get the feel for when to pull out the LCAR when you're running into a room versus when you're going to be better off keeping out your primary. And that way you can get a good balance going, and you can have the best weapon out at the best times without relying on your reaction time or fast hands to save the day. So just to recap, the LCAR is a machine pistol. It's basically a pocket submachine gun. You really shouldn't use it just by itself. You'd be better off with a regular submachine gun. You should use it as a secondary with a longer range weapon. I recommend no attachments, but if you're going to put an attachment on it, extended mags is one of your best bets. And then when you're using it, pay attention to the situation that you're about to be in. Not the one you're in now, but where you're headed to. And make sure to have that LCAR out when you're coming into those close quarters scenarios that your sniper rifle or assault rifle won't be that useful in. I hope this helped. This has been Chris with OPSED, and we'll see you next time.